Hi, my name's Danielle Costea. I've been a dog groomer for about 15 years, and I've always been an animal lover ever since I was a little kid, and I just always felt safe and comfortable around animals, and so that's what led me to want to start grooming. I was 19 when I started at PetSmart as a bather, and I went to Grooming Academy shortly after that. My creative journey didn't really start till much later than that, actually about, I don't know, when I really dove into creative grooming, it was probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Before that, I was mostly just doing ears or tails every now and then. The first time that I ever saw anything creative in the grooming salon was when this little Maltese came in with like a unicorn colored tail, and I had no idea that people did that with their dogs, and I was so just inspired by that, and I thought, you know, that I would have a lot of fun doing something like that. I went to beauty school when I was much younger, and I learned how to do hair for humans, and so when I started doing it on animals too, it really transferred over and helped me kind of have a baseline of how to do hair and how to work with color. I did my own hair for many, many years. I did my friend's hair. I've always had a lot of fun doing that, but I wasn't always the best with people. So the fact that I could do that with dogs as well, it was like the perfect combination, and I have so much fun with it. The first big creative groom that I ever did was actually with Lyra. I did the Pinkie Pie look on her, which it kind of took off, and ever since then, you know, I've been continuing to be creative and just spread joy and happiness with my dogs and express myself creatively, and it's been amazing having Lyra here because I wouldn't be able to do any of the stuff without her. When I first got Lyra, my goal was to do creative on her. That's one of the reasons why I got her. And my daughter actually brought up the idea of like, oh, she's just like Pinkie Pie. And I said, you know what if I actually turned her into Pinkie Pie? And so I was looking at a bunch of pictures, and I thought, you know, I wear extensions in my own hair. How cool would that be to put extensions on a dog as well? And so I used all of my knowledge with human hair on my dog and curled the extensions, layered the hair, tried to get her as close to the character as possible, and I had so much fun doing it. It was a lot of work and I was stressed out, but I didn't enter any competitions or anything. I just wanted to share my creative expression with the world, and so I'm very fortunate and happy that so many people loved her as much as I do. And ever since then, I've just been continuing to try and raise the bar with the characters that I can create with my dogs. And there's something really amazing about bringing a character to life with your pets and the joy it brings to everybody around you. And it's one of my favorite things, so yeah. After seeing that first dog come in with the color on its tail, I didn't really think too much of it then, because I mean, at corporate, you're not really allowed to use color. So the first time that I got to use it was at a private salon, and they just so happened to have a few bottles of whatever color. I don't even remember what it was, honestly, but there was one day my boss was like, oh, they want red ears on their dog for Christmas. Do you want to do it? I was like, yeah, sure, fine, that's whatever. I had no idea what I was doing, but I mean, I knew a little bit from doing human hair, but I'd never done it on a dog before. So I just applied the color to the hair like I would my own, and we wrapped it in tin foil, and it turned out super cute. And I fell in love with the process, and just seeing how happy it made the owners and the joy it brought for me when I was doing it is really inspiring. And when I really kind of dove into color was at a salon here when I first moved here, and she had, you know, a stock of all the Opaz colors, and I was just like, oh, this is heaven. I want to, I want to try using all of these. And she said, have at it. And I would build relationships with the clients and slowly convince them to let me, try a little bit here and a little bit there, and then eventually be like, well, what if I did this for Halloween or for Christmas? And they would let me work with their dogs and do pretty much, I convinced them to pretty much let me do whatever I wanted creative-wise. And just that journey of trying new things really opened up my whole creative world, and very grateful for that. I still have those clients now, and we do something for almost every holiday for a few of them, and it's a lot of fun. So I've always been a very artistic person ever since I was little. I've tried so many different career paths with art, and I've always gone back to dog grooming because I get to be around animals, I get to be creative, and I get to just be myself. Especially with creative grooming, it brought something out in me that I haven't been able to express with other avenues. I get to bring out the personality of the dogs with creative grooming, and it brings so much joy to everybody. It makes me so happy. And even while I'm doing the creative grooming, it's just so relaxing, and I get to go to a different place, and I don't have to think about anything else or worry about anything else. And so that makes my life better in that way. And then it's also one of the only things that I've been able to create where other people see my passion through my work, or they've recognized that. And everybody likes to have recognition for the stuff that they do, that they're passionate about. And so the fact that I've been able to help inspire others with my passion has just, it's shown me that this is what I'm supposed to do. This is where I'm supposed to be going, and just continuing to share that joy with everybody and expressing myself, and it's great. So every time I've worked on my dogs and then I bring them home or bring them upstairs, the dogs run ahead before me, and all I hear is, oh my gosh, from up the stairs, and I just get this big smile on my face, and I walk up and they're like, she looks so good, or he looks so good. And just hearing their excitement for everything that I get to do with the dogs that's inspiring, and that just makes my heart grow, and it makes my heart glow. It's definitely brought me closer to my kids, because I get to make some of their favorite characters literally come to life and be in the house with them. And so that's super fun. And every time I go out with them, I have to make sure that I'm prepared to stop every 3 seconds, because people want to pet them and they want to take pictures. And it makes me so happy to have them in my life and bring their personalities out through color. So I only recently got into social media and learning all these big names of people in the grooming industry just recently, about 3 years ago. But Gabriel, of course, has definitely been a huge inspiration, because he does the same kind of stuff that I enjoy, which is working with the dog to turn them into a character, or working with the dog's anatomy to do something creative. And that's the style that I love too. And so I've always been inspired by his work. Alyssa is also amazing. She does the extreme creative stuff, which that's not something I excel at or that I really want to do, but she has been so helpful, so kind. Every time I've seen her, she's just really, she's really been supportive and has answered any questions I've had. So she's also been very, a big part of my journey as well. So exploring social media and seeing all the creative groomers all over the world, the different styles, different characters they've made with their dogs, it's endless. And so I've had a lot of fun seeing all of that and being inspired by so many other people, messaging people, having others ask me for advice. It's a whole new world out there, and I love it, and I love being a part of it. My aspirations for the future are to continue growing with my creative grooming and to be more a part of the grooming community. I'm slowly working on my own brand, and I just recently launched my website. I'm also working on a hair-resistant clothing line, and so that's super exciting. I get to combine my love for fashion and for grooming. and I get to, again, share that with the world. So that's something I'm super excited about. I love being a part of this community, and I want to just keep inspiring others to be their most creative self.